I had a conversation with a legendary coach out of Virginia, right? And I was he's a football coach, and I was asking him. I said, "Hey, what's up with the today's kids?" And he said, "Nothing's wrong with today's kids." Fight. He said the parents have changed. So I called my old head coach Brandon, who used to coach me earlier, asked him the same question, and he agreed also. He said, "Nothing's wrong with today's kids." He said, "Kids are still the same. It's the parents that have changed." What are your thoughts on that?
I think the parents, I think parents are up against some different things, some different adversaries, like, social media. There's more technology. So
Access.
yeah, more access, So, but it's like, just in life, like when things get rough, we gotta get rougher. And a lot of parents haven't been able to keep up. So we gotta figure out ways to like, empower parents to be able to keep up, with all this technology, all the social media and just the world has changed, and a lot of people, like when people blame children, I agree with the coach. I think children, we're fundamentally the same. The children are fundamentally the same, but the environment has changed a lot, because of the things I already named. But
People's approach to parenting has changed a lot. I feel that like this is a theory. Nobody quote me on this, right? This is a theory I have. I don't know if I'm sharing this publicly, but I feel that like my parents didn't have access to credit like that, right?
mhm,
And because they didn't have access to credit, it was like payment plan and all that. But that's different. You got to actually bring the cash there every week to pay off for
yeah,
something. You don't get it. That limited the consumption,
right,
right? And they couldn't default with this parenting to say I'll buy you or I'll demonstrate my love through purchasing because that wasn't an option. Now, what I'm noticing is that the definition of parenting for most people is providing material things.
mm,
And I think what's happening too, especially with females, because they're working more, they feel something inside in regards to their parenting and the time they spend with the child. And to compensate, they buy in more stuff.
mm.
And the result is no relationship and creating little consumers, creating little consumer monsters. That's what I've just been really observing, over the years.
I mean, that sounds like a symptom of monopoly capitalism.
Yeah, and it seems like
Definitely.
the parents, and I'm not saying because you spend time with your children, they're gonna turn out great, right?
Right.
But especially younger ones, it seems that their behavior is much more better than the parents who don't consistently spend time with them.
That time is key, because when you spend the time, it's like you get attention from your parents, and you get to have conversations, and you get to learn things from them.
And you have that respect for your parents.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not like you looking for and I think back to social media. A lot of times people end up looking for attention and love on social media because they're not getting it in real life. They're not
All
getting
type
it
of
in their
weird
house.
foolishness, yeah, facts.
Yeah, so that could happen too. Like because you can get dopamine from getting likes
Facts.
on social media, but you could also get dopamine from being liked by your people. Your people that you actually can sit down with and community with. You know, um, but again, like that's a systemic issue because that's all of that has been forced on us. So but again, as parents, we gotta recognize what's going on around us. We gotta recognize this, and we gotta then start to think about, well, what can I do to address this problem? Right? Instead of just kind of going with the flow and just not even recognize. I think a lot of people don't recognize it as a problem. They just see it as, well, this is just how the world is. And like to your point, I can just, buy my children some things, you know? Um, but I mean, I understand like it's a complicated issue because people do got to go to work, you know?
There's another side too. There's two parts I want to add to it, right? We have a large portion of the population who like they don't make anything, right? They just working and it is what it is.
Mhm.
This is not for them. This is for those who have a little cushion,
Right.
but they're addicted to this level of living that's taken
Hmm.
away from other aspects of their life. And that's the decision people don't want to make. They don't want to reduce the lifestyle they're pursuing and focus on things that would be beneficial to the collective family long term.
Right. I see what you're saying. So you sound like the people like that are like the six-figure earners, but
Not even six figure fire, but somewhere where like you could get through.
they comfortable.
Yeah, you
They
comfortable, right?
but they might be
Relatively.
you might be working 100 hours a week
Yeah,
though.
you know what I'm saying. So like, I think that's where this conversation is not for those who hand them out. This is not for
Right.
them. The
Right.
other ones, though, what I've been noticing is that they're pursuing this lifestyle that's killing them and killing their family. And they
Yeah.
don't realize it. And I
Yeah.
think that's the issue we're running into, the lifestyle crisis, like trying to maintain this lifestyle that's not sustainable and unhealthy. And it's damaging to all parties who are involved.
Yeah, I think that's a very important word, sustainability. We often don't think about that. You know, we just
Can you sustain making 250 a year? Can you put the energy in every year? Can you sustain the effort you got to put to make 300 a year? Is it sustainable?
yeah.
And what's your health like? What's your mental health like? What's your physical health like? What's your spiritual health like? These
And
are the questions we need to start asking.
yeah, and yeah, because I was gonna say, are you considering those things? You know, because a lot of people just
On the job, give me this and that. And it's like,
we just grind right now.
it's gonna be grinded, you know?
Yeah, it's like what's that old like J line? F tomorrow, as long as the night before was sweet. Like a lot of us just be like, you know, we live in the moment and we're not thinking long term about the, you know, the impact of a lot of our decisions and whatnot. Um, Especially when you know, you find yourself in a position where you just out just hustling and just trying to, you know, get to the next dollar and get to the next level. And then, you know, you may not think, you know, again, it's like a math problem. Time horizon. It's like a graph. Like the x-axis is time, right? So you might only look at like a short period of time, like today, but you're not looking at it like stretched out. The x-axis like 5 years. But if you look at something in terms of 5 year a 5 year window, then you might start to see like why this is unsustainable. Like it's no way you can maintain this for 5 years straight. You know, but that's why a lot of times like your body will check you.
Check you right in the
Your
hospital.
body, yeah, your body will force you to shut down. Yeah,
And unfortunately, I just encourage people not to get to that point. Fire. You don't need a sad story to like tone things down. You don't need
yeah,
this great event to tone things down. You need to like tone it down before you get to that point. And I see it too many times, you know.
yeah. Definitely, definitely. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully people learn from that. Start thinking about that.